What's going on, Geekdom? This is Shimon. We are doing the review over the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer that just came out in theaters this weekend. Now, I already had seen reviews and stuff. If you watched my live stream for Friday Friday, I had talked about the reviews and stuff for I Know What You Did Last Summer. I was like, well, I say it's relatively close on both. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's not as close as far as critics go when it comes to the movie. Now, for both, it's showing that it wasn't. It was kind of close. Rotten Tomatoes, it wasn't that close for its scores when it comes to the 1997 movie and the one that recently came out. 1997 one has that at 46%. As far as critics pick, I'm surprised the audience didn't like the first I Know What You Did Last Summer because they're at a 41%. That is crazy to me. But the audience did like this recent one because the recent one has a 38% for critics, 68% for audiences. So I don't know what the heck is going on with that one with Rotten Tomatoes. But I was like, the first one wasn't. The 1997 one wasn't like a spectacular film. It wasn't. But I think the characters worked pretty well for the most part. There are some, hiccups when it comes to certain things the characters and stuff will say. There's definitely hiccups with the story and stuff. But I thought as far as just it being a cult classic, it deserved the cult classic, type of deal when it comes to horror films. Now, this one, the new one that just came out, I Know What You Did Last Summer, to me is not going to garner up to be a cult classic. It was just bad. Like, it was. I agree with the critics. I'm closer to critics' score. I probably would give it more. Tell the truth, probably like 40. About 40. I'll give it about the same as the first I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I'll probably put it at about a 40 percent. Like, it was a lot that went wrong with this film for me. Now the film, just to describe it, because we didn't even talk about the film. So, still deals with like a group of friends. Two of the friend member groups is getting married. So it's like a group of, four. They were celebrating and everything, and then they saw one person that they used to be friends with back in high school. She was putting stuff in the car, and they invited her along to go and smoke and drive, whatever. So they go smoke, go smoke, drive, and accident happens. They try to cover it up. A year later passes by. One of the friend members gets to know I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then they go after the friend group, and we have the movie. You do get to see two people from the first movie. That's Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. So you do get them back, and they're not heavily involved in the story. They're not like a big portion of the story, but Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character is more so than Jennifer, but still they're involved in the story. That's basically it as far as this stuff goes. They got to try to fight and survive, and then you have to guess who the killer is. Now I'm not gonna spoil. This is a spoil review, but I'm not gonna spoil the mystery portion of it. So this is, I would say as far as just stuff goes, it didn't work well when it comes to the story. Even the dialogue I thought was very weak, and it wasn't great. There were some lines in there I was like, what the hell are y'all talking about? I was like, this shit made no sense in certain situations. Didn't make any sense whatsoever. How this all came about. This is going to be the spoiler portion of it. How it all happened was one of the people from the group gets out into the road. He's playing off. There's a car that was coming and the car missed him, like, because one of the other members had like pushed him out of the way, and then he gets back into the street without realizing another car is coming, and the car veers to miss him, and it goes not fully off the cliff, but it's hanging off the cliff way. They try to save the car, but they couldn't save the car, and it flips over into the water. Um, and they freak out. They don't want to tell the police or stay for the police. They did call the police, but they didn't stay, and they left. The thing that bothers me about that didn't make any sense is, oh, this would ruin my life and everything else. It was an accident. Unless you're talking about, and I said this, unless you're talking about the drugs itself, which I don't think the drugs would have been that big of a deal in this situation, but unless you're talking about the drugs and stuff, how would it, you wouldn't be going for manslaughter. If someone said, oh, we just killed this guy, you didn't kill him, okay? You didn't kill the person because y'all was in the road. The person was speeding. He was speeding, didn't see you in time, and veered off. It was an accident. It didn't make sense to where y'all would say, oh, this is manslaughter, we killed this person. It doesn't make sense. It's not manslaughter. Y'all didn't kill anybody. It was an accident because somebody's dumb tail was still in the road. Now, I don't think you would get like a whole bunch of time. And then it would be only on him. Even though the whole car and all of them are on the road. They're not like in the grass or anything as far as this stuff goes. They're still on the road. I was like, it didn't make any sense to me visually seeing that they're still on the road. It's just though dude was on the opposite side. He was like in the middle lane and going into the opposite side. That was it. The car would have still had to veer around y'all, but y'all were still like, y'all was still in the road. The person was moving too fast, and they veered off. This shit didn't make any sense to me. The excuse of why you wouldn't stay for the police, why you wouldn't give a police report. That didn't make sense to me, because I was like, y'all didn't do anything horrible. Y'all tried to save the car. Y'all couldn't save the car because y'all couldn't keep it up. The shit is wild to me. Definitely the shit is wild. The shit made no sense to me, but yeah. I would say there's portions of the movie that I felt like people are going to go with the notion, and I kind of felt like that a little bit just because I was like, Which I was like, I don't mind feminist movies too much, but it definitely felt like a very feminist type of movie just because of certain comments and stuff that were put in. So I was like, yeah, it is what it is. Definitely is weird, but the dynamic of how the story was, it definitely felt like a very feminist type of movie. But it was, so like, some portions was alright, but it wasn't anything like the horror of it didn't work all that well. Jennifer Robinson, I think, if she wants to stick with the genre, she definitely got to work on the craft of horror a lot more. I said it before, this is new for her. I don't know exactly if the studio hired her to do this movie or this is something that she chose to do. I would think the studio picked her, but everyone needs their shot. I would say everyone does need their shot at trying something different and trying something new. That's the only thing that sucks when it comes to stuff like that. Everyone does need to try doing something different. They want to try something different, but I don't think it was a great run for her. So yeah. Basically, my whole points and stuff in this is just that. I think it was just, and then I'm glad they didn't advertise it like heavily or crazy because it wasn't that great. Yeah, I still feel like it's a waste of bringing back Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer. I feel like it was a waste to bring them back for this. I really felt like this should have been a new film. Redone, rebooted, something. There's just so many moments in this that I was like, it just did not work. It didn't make a lot of sense. Especially for something that's supposed to be a revenge slasher film. It's just a lot of stuff that didn't work. One, for instance, it's another spoiler. One, for instance, one of the girls is getting married. Other friends, Madeline, what was her name? Danica. Okay, Danica is getting married. Not to Teddy, who she originally was supposed to get married to, but stuff fell apart for them. And just leave it at that. Danica was with her fiance. They were in the house, and she was taking a bath. She's alone by herself. So was her fiance. He was alone by herself. They take out the fiance, but leave her alive. I didn't understand that exactly. I can understand it's like people want to play with their food and stuff like that, but as far as just a revenge and this is supposed to be something that's personal to them, she was the easy kill right there. I don't understand why you would leave her alive. I thought this was going to be the end of her as well, but it wasn't. To me, that didn't make that much sense, but I guess it is what it is. But I was like, the fiance didn't do nothing to anybody. The fiance caught a stray. Another person who caught a stray was the freaking groundskeeper for the graveyard. I was like, he caught a stray. He got murked for no reason. I was like, this is a lot of people. You got murked. I was like, if it's that important, you would have turned off the power, and that way he wouldn't be able to view the cameras and stuff. There was someone else that was murked that I didn't think that should have been murked. Involved the church and everything. I think I would spoil it too much when it comes to who the killer is if I mention who got murked. So I'm gonna try my best. I'm not gonna say it, but someone got murked, and it didn't make that much sense to me that why they got murked. I was like, this. They didn't explain it too well. They didn't explain it too well whatsoever. This was just a disaster. It wasn't a disaster of a film, but it just wasn't good. It was watchable, but I still say everyone should check out a film and get their own viewpoints. I know I'm doing a review and I'm telling everyone I wouldn't go to the theaters and watch it. I'll wait till it comes out on something, maybe streaming services or something. You catch it for free. I wouldn't necessarily go to the theaters and watch it, but like spend $15 on a movie ticket, 20, 30. I'll just wait. Until it drops. Just as far as the people who are curious about it, I just wait until it just drops and you watch it on streaming services. So I think a lot of stuff really does work better on streaming services, and I think this probably would have worked better on streaming services than it did in theaters. That's just my opinion. But yeah, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. If you like this review, you want to see other videos that I do, please do like, subscribe, and everything. I thank you all so much for just jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and others. Peace, geekdom.